My name is Greg Turner. I turned 50 last week. Not a number I was looking forward to, but I never expected it to be the night my own daughter torched whatever dignity I had left. My wife, Carla, had suggested a simple dinner with family. Just the four of us, me, Carla, our 9-year-old daughter Emma, and her boyfriend Blake. We sat around the kitchen island, pizza boxes open, a cake I bought myself sweating under the ceiling light. I was halfway through telling a story about fixing a busted water heater for an old couple when Emma rolled her eyes. God, Dad, do you ever talk about anything other than toilets and trash? You're literally a garbage man with a wrench. Blake chuckled. Carla didn't say a word, just sipped her wine. Then Emma added, seriously, Mom should have left you years ago. You'll never be more than a punchline with grease under his nails. I froze. For a moment, I was sure I'd misheard, but Carla smirked. Well, maybe it's time he knew the truth. That's when she dropped the bomb. You were never supposed to be permanent, Carla said, pouring another glass. You were just the guy who happened to be there when I got pregnant. We settled, that's all. Emma laughed. And we settled low. I didn't argue. I didn't scream. I didn't even finish my slice. I just stood up, walked to the garage, grabbed my old duffel, and packed what I needed. One change of clothes, my old laptop, a box of tools I never go anywhere without. I drove off in my beat-up Chevy pickup, leaving behind the people I once thought were my whole world. No one followed. No one called at first. By midnight, I had checked into a roadside motel 3 towns away. No reservation. Paid in cash. I sat on the edge of a mattress that smelled like bleach and regret, staring at the chipped wallpaper. It wasn't pain I felt. Not yet. It was a hollow quiet, a silence that stretched across 20 years of being taken for granted. At 3 a.m., my phone buzzed. Ista missed calls. 4 from Carla, 1 from Emma, 13 from unknown numbers. The last one said, unknown. We need to talk. Please don't do anything stupid. I smiled, because I wasn't going to do anything stupid. I was going to do something smart and unforgettable. I turned off my phone, not because I was overwhelmed, but because their panic didn't deserve to reach me. The next morning, I found myself at a 24-hour diner outside of Brenton, a sleepy little town with strong coffee and no questions. I ordered black coffee, sat in a corner booth, and opened the laptop I hadn't touched in years. The same one I used when I first started my small plumbing business. I guess it was poetic I was returning to where I began. But this time, I wasn't building pipes. I was building a strategy. Carla had always underestimated me. She thought just because I spent my days fixing drains, I didn't know how to protect myself. Truth is, I kept everything: tax records, loan statements, property documents, even the prenup we signed when she was too naive to think she'd ever need it. And Emma? She thought she was burning bridges, but all she'd really done was give me the matchbook. I hired a forensic accountant the next day. I gave her one task: tell me everything Carla's hiding. Within a week, I had documents showing that she and Blake, yes, Emma's boyfriend, had opened a joint LLC under Carla's name. Creative Marketing Solutions, they called it. But it was laundering money from a friend of a friend's crypto scam. Carla probably didn't even know how deep she was in. Emma, meanwhile, was busy playing influencer, posting TikToks from luxury malls, using a card I had stupidly left active. So I let her racket up thousands in handbags, makeup, and high-end shoes. I let it build just long enough for the banks to flag fraud. Then, with one click, I shut it all down. Every account frozen, every card declined. At 7:22 p.m. that Friday, Emma posted a now-deleted video of herself screaming in a parking garage. Does anyone know what to do when your dad goes psycho and shuts off your entire life? I watched it from my motel room, and for the first time in years, I laughed. Not because I was being cruel, but because they were finally learning what it felt like to be left out in the cold. Carla loved appearances. She always made sure the curtains matched the season, that the front porch had new flowers every week, that her social media was filled with curated brunches and family smiles that never quite reached her eyes. So I knew exactly where to strike. Through the private investigator I hired, Angela, ex-IRS agent with a photographic memory, I found that Blake's little LLC was behind on taxes. Not just a little, 6 figures. And since Carla's name was on every filing, she was just as liable. Angela made one anonymous call to a local news blog that specialized in financial exposés. By Monday morning, the headline read, "Town socialite tied to alleged crypto laundering scheme. IRS investigating." Her face was there, cropped from her real estate ad. The comments were vicious. Some old neighbor wrote, "She always looked like she was hiding something behind that fake smile." Her employer, the luxury real estate firm she worked for, immediately suspended her account access pending review. Carla tried to save face. She posted some vague nonsense on Facebook. "Sometimes people try to drag you down because they can't rise to your level. I choose grace. But grace doesn't pay mortgages." 2 days later, the bank notified her that the joint mortgage, which I had secretly refinanced in only my name 3 years ago, was now being reclaimed. I had sold the house. Legally, cleanly, quietly. She had 30 days to vacate. Emma, in the meantime, kept trying to keep up the lifestyle. But every time she swiped one of the old cards, it got rejected. Her online followers started noticing the cracks: no new clothes, no luxury selfies, just frantic rants about toxic family dynamics. And Blake? He bailed. The moment the IRS started knocking, he ghosted Carla, left a note on her windshield. "This was never supposed to be real. I'm out." That night, Carla left me a voicemail. Her voice was hoarse. "Greg, whatever you're doing, you're destroying us. Please, I'm begging you." He didn't respond. Instead, I printed out the voicemail transcript. I framed it, hung it right above my motel coffee machine. A daily reminder. They drew first blood, and I wasn't done yet. It started with a video, a simple thumbnail. He was just a garbage man until his wife and daughter betrayed him. I didn't post it myself. I sent the footage anonymously to a mid-sized YouTube channel that specialized in real-life betrayals and justice stories. They had nearly 900,000 subscribers. Within hours, the video was trending. The video began with a warm narration and soft music. Then came the truth screenshots of Emma's cruel birthday outburst, captured by her own friend during the dinner and uploaded to social media as a joke. But now it wasn't funny. It was damning. Clips of Carla's social media were stitched in. Her fake, perfect brunch photos. Her interviews pretending to be a self-made real estate queen. Then, right in the middle, court documents linking her to Blake's criminal LLC, with names redacted just enough to tease, not enough to hide. The comments exploded. She laughed at the man who raised her. That's disgusting. Carla's the definition of a social climber with zero loyalty. Emma's the kind of kid who'll sell you out for clout. The video hit 1.2 million views in 4 days. Emma deleted every platform she had, but the internet never forgets. Classmates began posting memes about her downfall. Someone started a TikTok trend mimicking her voice from the birthday clip. "You'll never be more than a garbage man," followed by a shot of someone standing on a pile of cash. Cruel? Maybe, but she asked for it. Carla tried to do damage control. Reached out to the video's creator. Claimed defamation. Too bad everything in the video was true. Documented. Legally obtained. By the end of the week, her name was unofficially synonymous with betrayal. Even her old friends stopped responding. She called me again, this time crying. "Greg, please. We have nowhere to go. Emma won't eat. I lost my job. I can't get through this alone." I almost felt something. Almost. Instead, I sent her a short message. "You chose your truth. Now live in it." 1 year later, I stood on the deck of a small cabin I'd built with my own hands. It faced Lake Winfield, surrounded by tall pines and silence so pure, it felt like a rebirth. I drank my morning coffee as the sun skimmed the water, and I finally understood what peace meant, not the absence of noise, but the absence of lies. In the past 12 months, I had rebuilt more than my finances. I rebuilt myself. I used the settlement money from the house sale to expand my plumbing business into a contracting firm. I hired 2 apprentices. I landed a deal with a local school district. And I met someone, her name's Ava. She runs the bookstore in town. Quiet, smart, the kind of woman who sees dignity in calloused hands. We don't talk about our pasts much, but she knows. One night, she held my hand and said, "You carry grief well, Greg." Like a man who's not afraid to admit he's been broken, but also not afraid to heal. He didn't cry, but I think something inside me finally exhaled. Last week, Angela, my ever-efficient PI, sent me one last update. Carla was working at a roadside diner off Highway 11. Emma had moved out and gone dark on social media. Word was, she was living in a shared basement suite with 3 other girls. No followers, no fans, no more TikToks. I stared at the report for a moment. Then I deleted it. Not out of pity, out of closure. Carla still tried to reach out from time to time. Emails. A letter once. She even tried showing up at the cabin once 6 months ago. But Ava answered the door. She never came back after that. In my office, I keep one framed photo, not of my wedding, not of Emma as a baby, but of the lake, taken the morning after I signed the final document that legally separated me from them. The caption I wrote under it reads, "Rock bottom is solid ground when you decide to rebuild. People say revenge is best served cold." But he didn't need the revenge. I just needed to walk away and leave them behind to rot in the ruins they built for themselves.